Police
I just want to be clear that neither of my characters are going to make any effort to call him anything but citizen or but cyborg.
It's too difficult at this point.
I'm not going to try to do that. In fact, I will try to do the opposite.
Okay.
Do you think Militant Salacious Byborg knows Fisto?
Oh dear.
Alright, what did Jay do? I hate what Jay did to this. This is awful.
What's wrong with it?
On recording the channel groupings.
It's
I
they're
do like
in the-
game agnostic though. Anyway,
I don't like how they were ordered.
You don't like change.
If important was under games, I think I would be fine with it.
okay.
I think.
So
I agree with all the groupings
since
though.
everyone's here, let's get started. Last we left off, things were being built. I'm gonna say the Logan refugees are, they're still incredibly loyal to Mr. President. You guys have some spare labor. Building is gonna commence.
We gotta pay them. First, we gotta deal with union contracts.
Wait, why are we doing this? You have army men.
Yeah, but then we're not adding to the economy of the hub.
Also, was there not just a note left directly in Sweet Tooth's fucking bed?
Right, that is where we ended. I was trying to remember. Okay.
I'll fix it.
There it is. Yes, there was a note left by an HS to leave Quake's artifact by the church.
I believe the note was to bring the artifact to the church,
Yes.
not leave it there, which we will not be doing.
Okay. In that case, how do you guys handle this?
Well, I think we should probably just send a few people over. Since I have an idea of who we're dealing with, we're bringing Mr. President, and I don't know who else.
Wait, why am I cutting? I've got union contracts to make.
Because Evil Squad is in town, and I would like your AoE buff to be present for that.
But union contracts.
I don't care.
This just in, Charlie a scab, Mort 11.
We're gonna push that story.
Isabella Caramel is already printing 12 copies. She had nothing to do this week.
Where did she get a printing press?
Look, she's very resourceful.
I was gonna say she's like very resourceful.
Hey, I just need to point it out. I do notice that I am noticing that the order of the channels is getting progressively more fucked up.
Yes, I've already complained to Bob about that.
No, okay. Alright, yeah, like what's been happening the last 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Don't worry, it's gonna get worse. So,
I did that all in one go. Whatever's been happening in the past 5 minutes wasn't me.
Jay fucking with us. Beautiful.
Oh no, those last two were me.
Okay.
okay. So, is it Charlie and Mr. President, or is that who's?
I mean, I would like more than that to go. I would like, some combat talents in case.
I said
Is Captain Dumont back from his expedition, or is he still
yeah,
in
you
there?
guys, you and John are already back.
Cool.
You were here for the school pitch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we should just pack up into the Spirit and head over to the church.
Can't see why not.
While everyone is gearing up to leave, Chivalry and Bill both kind of raise their hands and say, well, Chivalry raises his hand and says, I need to stay back here for a bit. I need to go into the... I need to go into the Candy Ragnarok.
we have an idea of who is here. I feel like you should probably be there. Like, I'd like to talk to the Rune Mother too, and if we're dealing with Dredger's group, that's kind of your issue.
I reckon this isn't one of his powers, but sure. Before he gets up onto the boat.
We'll buy you Bill. Check out Candy Ragnarok just because I'm curious. Or
I'm sure they'll still be there after.
Amp can check.
Amp is not going to check because if Amp talks to the Rune Mother, that spells the end of the world. Chris, I'm sorry, but I know who Amp is. I know who you are.
Just starts off, damn, mommy.
Okay, but can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If Amp opens that way, what happens to this setting if Amp fucking makes it?
I mean, I don't know. I think Amp just wins, right?
You get to put a gold star on your character sheet.
The last time I let something like this happen, it worked out great, so I don't see...
Wait, when was that?
When Alex
crossover.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, when Alex cucked Captain Barrett.
Oh,
I
God.
wasn't even thinking about that one. I was thinking about the one in the crossover.
Oh, that too. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Okay, so how's we going as a group one way? We splitting up? What are we doing, guys?
I mean, I think we go as a group, and they should be back if the two of them want to talk with the Rune Mother. Like, I doubt they'll be gone. I don't think this will take that long. It takes like 30 seconds flat to get there.
Yeah, Spirit's very fast.
Spirit is very fast.
And we don't even have to follow the waterways. We can just go straight there.
All right.
Is Sweet Tooth coming then?
Sweet Tooth is probably the only person not coming because he can't really do much if he's there.
We're gonna say Sweet Tooth is making candy to keep up with the ridiculous demand still, because there is still an enormous number of people in town after the grand opening. If Sweet Tooth takes no major actions this session, I will just tack on an extra 2,000 pieces of 8 to your budget.
I will probably approximate that. He might, like, talk, but probably won't do things.
Fair enough. Alright. So, as you guys gather up the half-decayed remnants of Quake's artifact, you load up onto the Spirit of the Unknown. Derek, how does Captain Dumont handle their passage? How's he flying them over? Are we going quiet? We going loud? Or are we just going scene transition here?
Remind me where we're going and why we're going there.
So, last session, there was a note left in your warehouse. Someone had managed to sneak past Charlie, the soldiers, everyone, and leave a note that says, bring Quake's artifact to the church. And it was signed HS.
How far away is the church?
Like less than 10 minutes by Spirit. It's just in the center of town.
Oh, we'll just fly over there then.
Alright, scene transition. Nothing fancy.
Womp.
We get a SpongeBob title card 5 minutes later.
The voice, damn it.
5 minutes later.
Thank you, Seth. Alright. You guys don't even remember going up and down a ladder. You're just suddenly there with the Spirit flying above.
Tracks.
Menacingly.
Menacingly. Anyway, so how are we conducting this?
So,
Wait, why is Wheat Candy Ragnarok in game agnostic?
Because Bob's been fucking with us. Don't worry about it. It'll solve itself in time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Chivalry will be going over a book he's brought with him where it's kind of obvious that he can't really read it. He's trying to figure out he's having trouble reading it because too much of it is too close to things that are related to Dredger, but he's trying to figure out what exactly we might be dealing with if Charlie couldn't see it.
I am going to attempt to search the area. I'm guessing I won't be able to find them if I couldn't see them earlier, but an active perception check might do better. Although I'm guessing they just have some sort of immunity. So I believe I only need to roll 2 dice for this. Yeah. That would be 2 7s and 8 10s.
All right. So, even if they're not hidden, there is a oh my god, what the fuck, Bob? So even if you guys don't even if he has an immunity, there's still an enormous number of people seeking lodging from the church, people from out of town. You see bog folk, you see people from the northern docks, not privateers, but just tourists. You see locals who normally hang around the church, but you don't see anyone who's like looking for you guys outside of people just going, oh hey, it's the candy shop people, you know, pointing, stuff like that. Even if you can see them, you don't know what you're looking for, really, and they're not making themselves apparent.
As we become better known, do we run the risk of the average person in the flooded district and hub considering the Spirit of the Unknown to basically be a giant ice cream truck?
Ooh.
Interesting.
Mr. President will walk up to Chivalry and be like, hey, what are you reading?
I think I know. I did know once who the lad has, or who has the lad. I can't really.
Do you want me to read the book?
Yes, I can't really make heads or tails of any of his. Nothing. Yes, I just
read
can't.
the book.
I can't get close to it. There's too much information about him in here.
All right, Tom. What does Mr. President read from that book?
The book that Chivalry has is a book by. It's like the quickest one he could grab. It's by a anthropologist named Catherine Briggs. It does have a few pieces of information about some like water horses and similar things, but it doesn't seem to imply that any of them are able, or it just doesn't say that any of them could go invisible. Basically, nothing in that book is described as being able to do that.
I can.
So, to elaborate on that, this book seems to imply that whatever is hiding this thing is not one of Dredger's direct powers, or like it's not through his power that this thing is hidden.
Okay. I will repeat that to the group then.
Well, whatever it is, if it wants it, it can stop being a coward and come ask for it from us.
You know, sometimes we're not all cowards. Sometimes we can't help it. Fuck you.
I'm gonna look at you, I'm gonna put it down on the ground. I think you would have no option grabbing this from here, and it shouldn't either.
You just leave it on the ground?
As long as there's no, like, people immediately around.
I have only one important question. Is one of the 7 legendary masters in the church?
just fucking start a sentence with that.
It's 9.
There were 9, you're right.
Oh, fuck.
Because if there is, I'll know.
I mean, you can just change the number if you want.
Yeah, the number will change on a regular basis.
I feel like
I'm sorry, there is not one of the 15
That's fine.
legendary masters in the church.
no. 13.
13, my bad. So yeah, none of the 14 legendary masters are in this church.
That's okay.
No.
That's all I need to know.
17. Prime numbers, buddy.
Oh god, yeah, so none of the 19 masters.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 23 of them.
So as this conversation is going on, is Charlie just watching Quake's artifact?
Yeah. Not even directly. He's not directly looking at it. He's waiting to watch. Or he's waiting for it to get, grabbed.
Something is happening around the artifact. There's a sound like tens of thousands of truck springs all being twanged in the same second, and a ring of metal has appeared around the artifact. Like little rivets in the ground.
I'm going to start draining that power.
So the anomaly in your eye gets back to you, it tells you there is nothing to drain.
Okay.
Actually, this one could be drained, but you realize there isn't actually a power at play here that can be drained.
So
That's exactly
What Sam
that's
said.
literally what Sam said.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking too hard about the sheet for this fucker. So the ring of metal appears around the artifact, and you just see it fucking disappear.
Oh, neat.
I would like to turn a small portion of the artifact to glass before it leaves.
Okay. I don't believe... Yeah, I think Seth is too fast to really fuck with on this front.
Okay, what is the speed of motion of that?
I mean, minimum width is 8.
And if we're going like conventional speed once it hits, it's about the speed of light.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty fucking fast.
Sorry, minimum width is 7, but I basically always get 8 because it's pretty easy to have a match.
Oh, so what I was trying to imply with the power thing, if you can't drain it, do you get any information on why?
No.
Okay.
I get a smidgen of information that there's nothing actively paranormal there. That's
Okay.
it.
Nothing actively paranormal occurred there with the metal.
Cool. I'm going to go make sure that I'm directly next to Mr. President and try and look through the other side of what I just turned to glass.
There is a moment where you can see the church. Like you can see the wall of the church and get the idea of somebody running, and then it just immediately cuts off. It's gone.
Why did we bring this here to give it to somebody again?
So I will elaborate because I'm trying to think of how this mechanic works here. Seth, you are still aware that the glass is there. You can feel it in that kind of way. You can feel your glass when it's out of your reach.
Sure, yeah.
But your connection to it, like your power can't find the way to it right now.
So is it as if it's out of range?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's a tiered multi. I'm so fucking tired.
Okay.
K-pop?
Well,
I just crashed really hard in the past 10 minutes.
I'll check back in on that later and see if I can see out of it.
Okay. Tom, I need to ask, does our boy show up?
Would you write in the squawk which boy you speak of?
Capital G.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Seth, Once the artifact goes, you're gonna notice 15 identical men emerge from the crowd.
Okay.
Captain Dumont will stride to challenge them.
They immediately
These are
put their hands going,
obviously-
whoa, no, please!
These are obviously the mooks that he fights before challenging the leader of this dojo.
I would like to see powers on them.
They have no powers.
Okay.
Then they're about to have a really bad day!
We're by the church, right?
Are you guys?
Yeah.
Are you guys? What would 15 be? Would that? What would that be? What kind of uplets would that be? 15 uplets?
Something
15
like that.
uplets? Are you guys about to murder 15 uplets? You know that's like a once in like all of history.
Yeah, one of the guys puts up his hands and goes, yeah, it's like killing a unicorn, basically. I am a
That is
clone,
it.
but that's not me, I'm real. But we're all real. Look!
Dumont will grab one of them by like the back of his shirt and just hoist him up to look him in the eyes and sort of just like stare at him for a minute.
Look, man, I know I'm like 5 nothing, but you didn't have to do me like that.
Sam, we're by
We'll
the
shake him
church,
to
right?
quiet.
Amp will attempt to lift one, but realize that he is short. That they are shorter than Gary. Whatever Gary's height is, it's always going to be 1 inch shorter.
Oh, that's
No, this would be no challenge. Captain Dumont will set him back down on the ground and say, "Go swim, little fishy. Return when you are larger."
He said unicorns, though.
What about unicorns?
He
I
said
didn't respect to that.
he said unicorns. That means he's related to the case I've been working on for the past 3 or 4 sessions.
So he looks up and says, "It's a turn of phrase."
So who are you people?
So I'm Gary 7, that's Gary 12, that's Gary 27.
I don't need to know the numbers.
Okay, we're Gary. You see
But
one of
if
the
you're
Garys
Gary,
immediately
what is
starts
he?
sweating when you mention the unicorn case.
Oh, no! It goes so deep. It goes all the way to the top.
Gary's just gonna go, yeah, just an expression. Hey, yeah, we're Gear Boys?
Oh, cool.
They
What do you need? Let me know if anything dings as a lie, by the way.
are Gear Boys. One of them steeples their fingers and goes, I think we were sent in as a distraction. And also, to make a peace offering. The Garys look at each other. They were not listening during the briefing.
They all assumed that one of the others was going to pay attention, and
None of them
them
did.
Amp handcuffs the one that was sweating over the unicorn. Actually, he'll arrest the wrong one. He'll arrest the guy next to him.
No, 13 doesn't deserve that.
Amp has really bad perception.
It was 8.
I'll arrest them both. Then
One of them points like, wait, I thought you were 9. I thought you were 15. One across the way goes, no, I'm 15. You're
none of you are legal to drink.
By the way, I'd
so-
like to be clear, Charlie is correctly identifying which numbers they are.
Okay, I was about to fucking ask, right? Like how can you even? It's like, damn it, Charlie's character even fucking his protection against the Gary squad.
So from what I gather, one of them just puts their hands up and goes, yeah, so from what we gather, we just needed to talk to you guys because there's like a weakness in the guy who grabbed the thing's power, and if we didn't talk to you, there's a chance you guys would have figured it out. So Yeah.
What's the weakness?
Oh, it's Gary 8. You remember the weakness, right?
Gary 8's currently eating shit on the ground as they have knocked him on the ground. You're in jail for a long time, buddy!
All I did was machine the horn! I didn't know! We were the only ones with a centrifuge who could handle it!
I mean, I'm assuming you're just trying to deflect. Could you just tell me yes or no whether or not you know the weakness?
No. Sorry. Like,
Is
they
that
did
a-
very... they do not know the... They do not know the
Okay.
weakness.
Okay, you mentioned a peace offering. I'm assuming this is for Dredger? His whatever group he's with?
Captain Dumont is now listening intently.
One of the Garys
Sure.
is gonna turn around. The shirt they're wearing just says tax auditor as they go digging around in their bag.
There's a faint scream from up above, and the spirit of the unknown begins rising rapidly.
His only
Minutes later, it is out of sight. Captain Dumont is staring into the distance with a very unimpressed look on his face.
I like to imagine that it made a pin whistle noise as it was going up.
Yes! Whee!
One of them pulls out a sheaf of paper, going, "Okay. So we're gear boys. We can do gear boy stuff. We can do maintenance, and basically we're very expendable. So the idea was, I think, we go in here and offer our services, and you do not kill our boss, who is Dredger, I believe his name is."
If you're expendable, it's not much of a peace offering now, is it?
Look, I'm
I
still
mean, we
a
got-
person,
we
man.
got-
I still have feelings.
Chivalry
That's
size
not
and
yourself.
ask
Yourself.
Charlie, which one of them is best put together? Which one of them is the most reasonable or smartest looking of them?
I'm gonna roll an empathy check.
I don't
Alright, go
believe
for
any
it.
of them are expendable.
How do we like 5/8?
So, not Charlie. Charlie looks at Gary 8, the one eating shit. He seems to have the most Gary in him because he remembered the unicorn shit.
Alright. I'm gonna go over and just like, Amp, I need a minute, and I'm just gonna like set him up.
Going away for a long time, buddy, and I'll let him go. He's still handcuffed, so
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
This man
Charlie-
has like no upper body strength. He's at no chance of breaking out.
Neither did Amp.
Charlie, would you let me, considering who he's working for, allow
Go
me
right
to-
ahead.
And Chivalry holds Fraggle Rock up to this man's neck.
You just hear Gary go, "Cool sword."
Okay, he technically shouldn't be able to talk unless
You
asked
hear
a
the
question.
other 9 Garys go, "Cool sword," as he's silent.
Okay. So Chivalry says to Charlie, "I got 2 questions for him. What did you want to ask him?"
I have no idea. Go ahead and ask yours. I'll see if I come up with anything. Hey, Mr.
Alright.
President, do you have anything?
I mean, we could ask where they are.
Chivalry will nod at that and say, "Where is..." He looks distraught because he just cannot say Dredger.
Dredger. I'm just gonna finish the sentence for you.
That's really complicated. They hired this really scary crab to build basically a wormhole network. So they've been all over the place recently.
Do you remember the wormhole network well enough that you can map it out for us?
I don't control what the crab does. Well, technically the worm does, but the crab controls the worm.
Chivalry will ask,
That counts as your second question, by the way.
Oh, is there a limited number of questions?
you get 3 ever per target.
Oh, I thought it was just you had duration on it, sorry.
So what would we vote as the third? I would say the third question should be, what's the crab?
No.
I don't really care what the crab is. What was your other second question?
My other second question, I am now realizing Chivalry would not be able to say due to a flaw in his archetype, so I have nothing. I don't even think he would be able to really adequately express it to Charlie.
We can ask who's in the party.
We can do that.
If he's able to think it, Mr. President has a high enough mind that he could try rolling mind plus empathy.
Like, Chivalry straight up cannot consider this. It's
Okay, then never mind.
yeah.
We could have Mr. President roll mind if it's like a reasonable question, or if it would be something a reasonably smart person would think.
Would I be able to guess the question based off the book I read?
Are you a reasonable person?
I feel like he's the most reasonable person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the one who has the most information.
Tom, what is the nature of the question you were going to ask?
The nature of the question was to do with how far specifically Dredger has set up how built up is their location? What kind of resources do they have?
Oh, that's an entirely reasonable question. That would just naturally occur to Mr. President. I believe he has 5 hard dice in mind.
Yes.
That's an idea that just would occur to you for a question. You don't have to ask that question, but it's on the table if you'd like to know.
We want to know who's in the party or what resources does he have.
I kind of feel like a debrief on party members is a good idea.
Okay.
Everyone agree with that?
Yeah. Sure.
What party members do you have?
Okay. So, we got Dredger, big boss man. I hear his power as he turns into an above-ground swimming pool. I don't know what that means. Second, we have the Hidden Sorrows. His thing is that we're not sure he's real. Like, we notice shit disappears and is replaced with staples pretty often. So we think...
Oh, hey!
Yeah?
Like me.
Who said that?
Persuasively.
Do you guys control the wind? Anyway,
Yes.
No, that was my friend.
there's this sniper. I've never met him, but I know they got one, and it's just a sniper, and I don't know if he does anything special, because he's never talked to any of us. I don't think he's been within 3 miles of the rest of them. There's this very scary knight who looks like a bug. I think there's something wrong with him. Because every time he looks at the waterlogged, he just chuckles and calls them pirates and says our animatronics fucking rule. So I'm not sure he's all there. He is very strong, though. I did see him rip a Goliath apart with his bare hands. They have this prisoner they broke out at Grey Wall, and all I know is that he summons these fucking, like, fluffy dog-looking things, but they're not dogs. And finally, they have Quake, who was on the, from Carrie Link show?
I'm familiar with Quake.
Awesome. Yeah, they seem like a really good person. I've had nothing but positive interactions with them.
Is
That's actually true. That's actually true.
The fact that doesn't ding as a lie is concerning to me, but
is the Carrie Link show just something you can catch if you're in a part of the city that has, like, electricity and TVs?
Yeah, Barry built a radio out of Jenga and it seasoned to hell.
Oh.
This press was like, yeah, you guys haven't seen the Carrie Links show?
I've lived in the flooded district since I got here.
Oh.
Chivalry pulls away the blade and slams Gary 8 back into the ground and says, Amp, you can have him back.
Amp will step on his head. That's why you're going to jail, buddy!
Okay, so his head explodes like a tomato.
I've got 1 strength, Sam.
He has no hitboxes.
Oh, okay, no, that makes sense, actually.
Police brutality. It's okay. I'll just get a write-up for it.
And
The
please
other
be careful.
Gary's fucking clap. Like a golf clap, like well done.
Oh, it actually have 2 body. I forgot about the extra
Oh no. The brutality escalates.
I curb stomp that bitch.
Okay, so I'll go back to whichever one I was talking to. I think 7.
I think so, yeah.
Can you set up a meeting with Dredger?
Yeah, he would determine the where and when. Is that okay?
Tell him I would like to meet on neutral ground for a conversation rather than combat. I'm assuming we're going to bring everyone as if there's going to be a combat, but that's not my intention.
If you want, like, we're all telepathically linked, the Garys. We could just relay messages.
Ah! Capital! Most excellent, Captain.
No.
Pick up the nearest Gary, look him in the eyes, and say, I'm going to kill you all. There will be nothing left when I'm done. I want my wheel back. And then drop him on the ground and give a big old smile. I hope that all came through loud and clear.
The Gary explodes.
Yes, it did.
Like a crushed tomato.
Oh.
So are you guys, like, designed to be incredibly fragile? Because that's twice now, like that.
Oh, we're unfinished.
No, I'm just so fucking strong! Woo!
Charlie, I need...
God leaves us unfinished, as a joke.
Charlie, I need you to specify some more things to him.
Okay. What would you like me to specify?
When you say neutral ground, what were you thinking? And you can just tell, you don't even need raw empathy. Chivalry looks terrified.
I don't know. I was just thinking somewhere nearby. They have wormholes, so they can get wherever. So just, somewhere where we're not going to have any allies of them attacking us, and we're not going to have hub members attacking
Wait, why
them.
not the bar? Oh, wait, we're not allowed. The Amp's at least not allowed in the bar, I'm pretty sure.
So Avery's still banned from the bar.
And it's kind of an open question how that works.
Also, I can't use C powers in the bar.
Chivalry
Or, sorry,
will,
C powers or C truth in the bar, although I'm not saying that one out loud.
Chivalry will turn to the Gary and tell him he needs to choose a place where we are both invited. We are both, all parties are guests there. Explicitly, they are guests.
One of the Garys
What he
is
said.
gonna raise his hand and go, "Can it be the brothel?"
The Gary
Yes.
shakes his head suddenly and says, wait, no, it can't.
That Gary explodes.
Yeah. The reason for that, Sam, is you might recall that Avery is banned from there too.
Oh shit! Fuck.
What about the Church of the Library of Alexander?
Amp explodes.
The Garys are gonna go into a huddle. They're gonna start whispering fervently, or feverishly, and they're gonna go, "What about the northern docks?"
How long of a trip is that?
Oh, a couple days.
That'll do.
Tom, they're gonna wire that idea back to Dredger. How's he respond to that idea?
fuck
What
was
the
that?
fuck was that?
What was that?
What was that?
I don't know.
Was that Bob?
No, I think
That sounded.
it was outside my window, but I don't know what it was.
It sounded like the only part of it that came through was the mournful sob of the damned.
Like, Sam, do you need me and Nisha to come over to save you? Like, we will.
It's okay. Bob has many guns.
All of them are anti and might explode in his hand. I will
Awesome.
come over there.
Only
The
one
danger
of them
makes it
might-
stronger.
Guns don't
only
do
one of them
anything to
might
carry
explode in
Ling.
my hand. The rest are quite reliable.
That's the startup sequence to the Carrie Ling show.
He fires the antique revolver, it fucking blows up in his hands, summons a ghost.
Oh.
The opening of every episode of the Carrie Ling show looks like the opening of an episode of Columbo.
Look, you can shoot Carrie Ling if you shoot him with the ghost of the revolver that blew up in your hand. It's not that hard.
Sam, can we just have the Carrie Ling show playing on a TV that Mr. President made in the candy shop?
Yeah, there's a dedicated team of engineers to fix it because it's just constantly melting down. That's what helps it see into hell. It's half from the grave itself.
That makes sense.
There's actually a tombstone behind there. It's made out of candy.
That's
It's
the
required to be
antenna.
there, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah.
I just want to look from time to time at the Carrie Ling show.
Congrats, you have to keep this bit up, Sam.
Yes, Tom. Dredger does have a line through the Garys,
Okay, one of the Garys.
who are now showing up on the Carrie Ling show, by the way.
Oh no.
Anyway,
One of the Garys shudders strangely and stands very rigid for a moment, slackening, and just turns and smiles at Captain Dumond. We no longer have the wheel.
Still gonna kill you.
I'm gonna punch the Gary in the face.
he explodes.
Guys, we can't just keep exploding people. We're the good guys.
I told him
Another-
he'd be next.
Another Gary shudders and says this and smiles that same way and says the terms of your request are amenable to us.
Sounds good.
Meet us at the docks in. Sam, what's a reasonable time frame for this? I have no fucking idea how time passes in Evil
we
Squad.
still have to do the last session, so I guess we'd have 2 sessions before we can do that.
So yeah, you guys would need to get through that one Evil Squad session. But
Yeah.
after
One weekend game?
So basically, as soon as you guys get back from that one session, you guys can go straight to the northern docks. Remember, you guys have wormholes. Hub Squad does not. They have the Spirit of the Unknown.
Sam, you forgot to bring up the new message since this is from the new member since this is from the future.
Also, I ask this mainly because I don't want to know how many sessions. I want to know what is a reasonable number for a Dredger to say here, because you told me, for example, that the 4 sessions that Chris has been in have in universe taken 45 minutes.
Yes. 3 days time is probably reasonable. It gives both parties enough time to
Okay.
prepare, get stuff out of the way. We'll have a
Alright.
few sessions in between, and then we can just hand
Okay.
wave the meetup.
Okay, Dredger will say 3 days then.
Okay. No, he'll say a fuzzy amount of days, and that amount of days will get retroactively filled in by however many it takes us to meet up.
That tracks. Captain Dumond is here. And
It's
Charlie.
true.
Hey Derek,
And
you're
it's
making
all
the most
wibbly
narratively
wobbly.
useful character I've ever been given. I really appreciate it.
You need to sync up 2 parties operating on completely different play schedules. No problem.
The missing piece to every play. He is the fulcrum of this narrative.
Fulcrum have beaten you to death.
Okay.
I wanna
He's
be
gonna
clear.
beat you to death with the story.
I want to be clear.
Literally.
Out of game, I do intend this one to be non-combative.
That being said, both of you would need to send couriers to the privateers because they would need to invite you into the northern docks.
Okay. I mean, I assume that ya boy, Red, and Skateboard Kid shows up, can get there in about 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, Skateboard Kid can just be there. And I know exactly who Evil Squad's gonna use, so we don't even need to say it.
Amp would like to meet the Rune Mother during that trip.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're done here, we can go back. Actually, I'm just going to ask Dredger while he's here. So what was your actual intent with the Garys or whatever? Like, what are you trying to do with them? They didn't explain it well.
We simply wanted to stall you for time. We found it humorous.
You know how there's that scene in movies where somebody's like plucking the petals off of a sunflower. Captain Dumond's in the background, but he's doing it with somebody's ribcage.
That Gary has somehow not exploded yet.
Yep.
He looks horrified though. The Gary next to the one being possessed goes, "We are pretty funny and distracting," and then he explodes.
Wait, why did we send one of the sturdy Garys for Dumont to fight?
Because Dumont needed somebody to pluck the ribs out of. That's why.
Look, they weren't all unfinished. Just most of them.
Okay. I guess
Number 4 is pretty sturdy.
I guess this isn't the worst person that had ripped out that Gary's ribs.
Gary's been through a lot, man.
Yeah. Every individual one of them.
Alright, buddy, don't die before our meeting. If you want to die shortly after, that's fine with me, though.
Dredger in Gary's body will bow, and then he'll, without breaking eye contact with Charlie, smash his own head by clapping his hands.
Just fucking, that's actually one of the sturdy ones, but he still explodes.
Yeah.
Alright, I think you should probably go back to the shop.
The other Garys go, "Yeah, we got stuff to do too." One of them is just melting, going, "Oh, I guess I don't," and then he just turns into a puddle.
Captain Dumont still has his hands buried in the other one's ribcage, and if he tries to die, Captain Dumont's just gonna be like, No, where do you think you're going?
Can Amp still have one sturdy one to take to the police station?
Yeah, one is like sweating super hard, going, "Boy, it sure is good only one of us knew about the, the unicorn mill."
You son of a bitch.
No!
I'm gonna whistle and see if that properly summons the spirit.
Now that the last of the tax auditors is taken care of.
Tax auditor!
At the whistling, Bill stops hyper-focusing on how fucking jacked up the Gary's biology was, and takes a moment to analyze how are the people at the church reacting to this gruesome fucking scene.
Everyone is fucking horrified. It looks like you guys are surrounded by salsa. There is a little bit of splatter on you guys. Captain Dumont is fucking elbow deep in a Gary.
Ample
Splattered is probably the term.
want some tortilla chips and hand them to Bill.
You see a mother covering their child's eyes. You see the
Don't worry, folks, we'll have this all cleaned up momentarily. Just a little good old-fashioned friendly posturing between mortal enemies. You know how it goes.
You see Silas from the church, the edgy teen, who is now in charge, just kind of like step out and go, "Hey guys, I know you've done a lot for this town. I don't want to downplay that, but
They're coming. The ship's coming down. We're gonna get them up out of there.
okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't know they would.
Don't.
I didn't know they would start exploding.
Don't
I had
ever
no
do this
idea.
again, please. This
Look,
is
I didn't know what
horrifying
these
in a
people
way
were.
that
Yes.
little else has been since I've gotten here, and that's saying something.
I agree.
Tequila.
Anyway,
This isn't too bad.
actually, Mr. President, can you come here?
Yeah.
You guys used to run a school, right? This is probably the worst time to be having this
This is
conversation.
a pretty
Then
bad
don't.
time to be having this conversation. I'm gonna agree.
You
with
say
there.
that, Mr. President will like, no, we're not right now talking about this, and I'll use all my hyper charm and hyper command to stop you from bringing up the subject.
How
know
much
what?
willpower would that take? To
Can you save from
I'm not going to try.
36
So-
hard dice?
So
I spent
Silas
70 willpower.
is gonna get a little bit of respect from Mr. President for showing the only amount of tact shown in this entire conversation from his perspective.
I didn't even want to come. I wanted to continue building stuff, but I am here.
I didn't know what these. I didn't realize people would start. Look, another one just blew up. No one even touched that one.
You
It just
see
blew up.
Gary eating a bowl full of communion wafers. He explodes, and the Silas goes, "What the fuck?"
I
Like-
think they just
like-
self-destruct.
Like it's clear that we're not doing this, right? Like,
I need.
Oh,
to
I'm
put
definitely
in that
doing
part.
this. Captain Dumont
okay,
will
sure,
say cheerfully.
he's doing that one, but like,
He's doing him all right.
Charlie's gonna like have his arms out. Like, you can see that's not us, right?
Amp's busy trying to poke tortilla chips into the one that she's got handcuffed. Come on, explode in the salsa.
The Gary's just gonna go. It's not salsa. It's I guess it could be a meat-based salsa. The one that Captain Dumont is arm deep and goes, "Wait, dip it into me. I want to know if I'm tomato flavored."
I
Still
tossed Captain
some-
Dumont the tortilla chips.
It would be a me-based salsa. One of them
Captain Dumont
says.
will dip one of them and then shove it into the one he's currently
Guys, stop it.
This is more fucked up than anything that's happened in Evil Squad.
I do like the contrast. Evil Squad. We made big Pop-Tart! Hub Squad. We made meat salsa out of
Captain Dumont is going to drag his Gary rights violation back up into the spirit of the unknown.
You notice that the Garys apparently do not feel fear or pain.
Ample drag his to prison.
I will
They
help
do
the crew
fear
clean up
prison.
the area. I
I'm
help
not
the
taking-
crew mop up.
Yeah, the crew are in gas masks and have mops and buckets and whatnot. One of them provides you with a pair of heavy rubber gloves.
You
Another
notice that the
appreciate it.
second the meat salsa gets wet, it just starts melting and dissolving.
So don't feed him after midnight and don't get him wet. Got it.
Man, they can't do anything fun.
That was Propulsion saying that.
Captain Dumont, meanwhile,
Oop.
sorry,
There you go.
Captain Dumont will take the Gary to the med bay and make sure he's not capable of currently dying.
You know,
He explodes.
And then, or if necessary, the science bay. And then take him to the science bay, and I want to see if I can hack into the Garys so that I can look out the other Gary's eyes.
Ooh.
Roll a research for me.
I'm super glad I get a chance to actually use that fucking thing, so let me look at what it is.
I do have two things I have to bring up while you roll your research.
I've one as well.
Science lab.
I have one as well, but mine's not very important.
While Derek's
Okay.
looking up the stats and rolling, let's go over them as much as we can.
Okay, we do have one free question from Verbal King still,
I have
And
that
then-
written down too.
and then we also still have the blunt that should be arriving at some point from Heigel's group,
Not
as long
Heidel's-
as
Wolf's group.
Wolf's group, as well as the original blunt as well.
That's kind of
4 10s and 2 4s.
Okay. The 410s, you notice there is a small black chitinous little pin built into the Gary's brain. You notice that the brain itself is horrifically underdeveloped. It's all processing power, but no memory, no spatial awareness. It appears as if most of that has been offloaded. Without the pin, the Gary is not capable of maintaining homeostasis, which is interesting because it
Interesting.
also doesn't seem to have most of his organs.
They've been manimized.
This is an entirely artificial being. Like this, but it doesn't... The more you look at it, the more you realize this is not something man-made. Like, this is not the result of power. This is... It's like a sculpture, I guess, would be how I would describe it. Like, something more akin to an artist made this really fucking good.
Who do you think makes sculptures, Sam?
Did their artists get really horny and then Aphrodite brought their sculpture to life?
Bob, something about this made you horny?
It was.
Oh my god, you almost got me.
Tom, I thought you would have gotten the joke.
I was so fucking close to spit taking as I took a drink. Oh, you can't just say shit like that, Tom. After we just fucking made sauce out of someone's insides.
Tom, I thought you would have gotten the joke about Galatea.
Well, I get the joke. I just had the feeling that would destroy
Absolutely
someone.
And you were right.
Congratulations.
I almost spit take all over my poor little computer. Jesus.
You would
Alright.
you would have transferred to a new person. Curse.
Well, Captain Dumont would like to try and plug the Gary's brain into a computer and do some Star Trek bullshit.
Okay.
Reverse the polarity on the main deflector field and try and basically make its brain let him look through other Gary's eyes.
Reverse the polarity.
So it goes pretty well. You plug it in, you send out a pulse, and you actually start getting like pings on the mainframe bio server or whatever the fuck.
IO server, yes.
You actually manage to get in, and then it just cuts. Your screen goes black. You see some disembodied, like, floating green lights going, I don't recognize you.
No, I should hope not. I don't recognize you either, but I will soon.
Perhaps not. You seem quite incensed. May I ask why?
Someone you were having affairs with has rather offended me, and I desire to rip out their spine.
I could ship it to you if you'd like.
Can you ship me the rest of them, as well as their abomination that they have created?
Depends on the definition, but yes, that should be within my capabilities.
Excellent. I would like one dredger, their spine, preferably still inside their body, and the ship that they have built out of a piece of me.
Would you just like one of each, or would you like multiples?
Hold the phone.
We all get to rip out Dredger's spine.
I want the original. The one from my universe.
Spine.
Don't try to sell me no goddamn knockoff. Some other Captain Dumont is having trouble with one. That's his problem. I want mine.
That could prove difficult. I'll need some time to consider this. You've posed a rather difficult problem.
I'm good at those.
Alright, I'll keep
I'm
this
going to keep causing problems until I have a spine and a ship's wheel. Not necessarily in that order.
Understood. I'm going to have to cut you off from the Gary network. It is a rather delicate construction, and I can't handle that distraction right now. But I'll keep this line of communication open.
I would like to oppose their attempt to cut me off from the Gary network. Not sure that's possible, but I want to try.
You don't have the means to do that right now, because this thing controls the pin in its entirety, but you can try and start like a larger research project to make like a psionic interface. You just have to figure out a couple of things first.
But if he gets his
now.
if he gets his chief science officer into this room right now, he can NCIS it. 2 hackers with a keyboard.
I was thinking making that joke earlier.
2 keyboards, 1 computer.
You see one of the green spheres narrow and go, just because I think I know what you're thinking. If you do compromise the network, nothing is stopping me from just killing it entirely and building a new one.
Which would cost me nothing!
Same situation here.
I'm glad we understand each other. And I will proceed to attempt anything I can do it. Over time, you know.
Alright, fair enough. The screen will go, well, if there's nothing else you need from me, do stay in touch. By the way, I didn't get your name.
Nope. You surely didn't.
Understandable. Have a good day. And it cuts communication.
I do believe I'm going to have to kill that thing.
Good luck. Half the time I think Evil Squad's gonna have to kill that thing.
The enemy of my enemy is my enemy's enemy. No more, no less.
The enemies of my enemies' enemies is my enemy's enemies. That's how we're running at this point.
The value of these shows will fall. During all of this, Chivalry is actually explaining to Silas what happened here as best as he can. He's showing Silas how to guard the church's grounds more so than they already are from things like Dredger.
Okay, so the church actually has a pretty decent store of occult knowledge and backups, so they actually snap into it as soon as you tell them vaguely what type of creature Dredger is. It's like what he is known to them.
Do they know exactly what he is?
Not exactly, but they know. It's like they may not be able to tell this direct species of dog, but they know what a canine is, you know?
Okay.
That being said, one of the church guys is digging through the salsa, helping clean up. Does a whistle, goes, Silas, we got a problem! He's holding up one of the black chitin markers. He runs over to look at it, goes, what's the... Oh, fuck. Hey, we need to go. There's,
What is that?
probably
What's wrong,
nothing.
Father?
I'm assuming that ding's the lie.
That is a lie, yeah.
Please, just honesty is a great policy. Your church.
Okay, so... This shouldn't exist. The thing that makes these were wiped out within the first year of the city. It is the only successfully exterminated external organism in the city. And the only reason that succeeded is they did a better job killing each other than we did. Do you guys know what a scourgeon is?
No, I do not. Please tell me.
Okay.
Mr. President, no.
This is a very old myth from specifically the flooded district, so probably not.
Ah, okay.
Oh, if it's from specifically the flooded district, can I make a streetwise check?
Sure.
Cam just wants to tell us the lore anyway, but I want to just beat him to it.
Incredibly difficult one, but go for it.
Tour guide on the fucking Charlie's Haunted Flume
Can-
ride?
Can I...
Only 2 5s, I'm guessing. Right?
Hang on. Can I invoke knickknacks and curiosities and find a book about them?
I do think you are currently doing your research while this is happening.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
If any character was allowed to be in 2 places at once, it would be Captain Dumont.
And the crew invoke knickknacks and curiosities.
Yes.
Since it's attached to
They absolutely
the
can.
boat. Not captain. Great. So add 2 wiggle dice to whatever you rolled.
Okay. Would 3 10
You could hand it a very grim children's fairy tale book.
would either 3 10s or 4 5s be good enough?
3 10s would do it.
3 10s it is.
You see a series of tales, like lessons you would teach a child about. It's all dealing with like loss or like medical defects. They go into the woods. They find this crab-looking thing, and they feed it. And it always gives them what they want until they get given exactly what they want. It's kind of like a genie story, and their lives just get more and more twisted. But they're being given what they want, so they can't leave until they've lost everything by being given everything. That's the same tale over and over and over again, and there's a very visceral, like, body horror. This thing is a medical creature, but so this jogs Charlie's memories. Very early on in the flooded district, these things were nightmares. You would hear tales of plagues being spread via the water and clouds. You'd hear tales of parasites that would turn people into just fucking living wallpaper. Zombie apocalypses waged against one another. Horrific stuff. You avoided the worst of it. This mostly struck the bog people way down south. They never made it that
Gotcha.
far.
That makes sense.
But these things are incredibly dangerous. You don't know how, but you do know these things were absolutely wiped out. There's no question about it. So the question is, how did Evil Squad get one?
I would like to be clear. The entire reading of the children's book took maybe like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Silas is going to fill in the rest of the party going, look, Amp would not, Chris.
Okay.
Would not know. They never made it up to the Scar. Specifically, it's a very specific area of the flooded district. These things existed in for like 6 months.
Wow.
And then they killed each other off. So, Silas is going to fill the party in. These things are basically doctors. They're wild doctors. Anything you can think of a medical talent doing, they can probably do, but better. The main thing that limited them was they, if there are two Scourgeons in existence and they know of each other's existence, they have to kill each other. That was what kept them in check.
So, why were there 15 of them here? Just fine with each other.
I think the Garys weren't the Scourgeon.
No, the Scourgeons can clone things.
I see. So each one of those little, I point at the black chitin things, aren't Scourgeons. They're just a creation from one of them.
Yeah, the Scourgeon's a diffuse character. So, like, this is a part of the Scourgeon, but it probably also could grow into a new Scourgeon if given enough time. But it would still be the original Scourgeon, hence why it's just a little piece now.
I see.
They're very difficult to kill.
Sure.
That being said, he just dunks it in a little bit of holy water. You see it fizzle and burn, and it's just gone. They're not. If you know their tricks, they're not hard to deal with at all. The issue is they're very fucking smart. This is a problem. This is a big problem. I don't know everything a Scourgeon can do. I know it can do a zombie apocalypse, and I know it can clone things. I don't know if those are related or not.
If I see powers on the little chitin things, do I get anything? I know I didn't for the Garys.
If you look specifically at the chitin thing and focus really hard, you get visions of a man floating in a tank with these long chitinous legs that extend into like surgical tools, cutting him open, attaching his nerves to like an external brain or external brains. Disembodied green eyes on eye stalks, analyzing him. Like you see the light peeling away layers of his skin to look deeper.
Lovely.
You see a biological tube. It's not like going through his mouth like normal. It's just cut open his lungs and gone directly in.
Speedrunning breathing.
Yeah. Guy,
That's horrifying.
Speedrun tech. So yeah, on the plus side, if it's loyal to Dredger, that means it is slowly burning away his eternal soul. So that's cool.
That is. I don't know if that's a good thing. I think we're gonna try and get the person that Dredger is currently overtaken back.
Oh, I see. It's like a parasite. So it's actually costing him nothing. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway, do you know how to kick a person out of a body without killing the body? Because
Oh, that's
we'd kind
just
of
an
like
exorcism,
every
yeah.
back. Okay.
I can do an exorcism. That shouldn't be hard. Well, I say that, but then it always is. So.
Yeah. So I know he made an implication a while back that if we killed him or the body, that it would be very bad for us because some sort of Lord of the Drowning Folk would show up. I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of this in the ancient texts. It's like, occasionally if you kill a ghost, for a second the ghost is just going to burn that host's body while it has some life left in it, and then it's going to manifest in the real world.
Yeah, something like that.
There's ways to prevent that. I don't know if I have any of them here, but there are
I don't
ways
think we
to
can-
prevent that.
I don't think we can seal those away right now, but I will probably be back. Anyway, I'm going to hand him a little apology letter that I wrote by turning some paper to glass for getting blood all over the front of the church.
Okay. He's going to accept that and go, oh, one last note about the Scourgeon. While that thing is alive, you're not going to be able to kill any of them. The Scourgeon can bring people back from anything.
Good to know.
All right. Good luck.
We'll need it.
All right. Any final questions you guys have, or?
I can't think of anything.
Chivalry will hand Silas some of the few notes he was able to write and have copies of about what he knows and the fact that there's a sort of distributive quality already to Dredger.
That's not good. That's not good at all. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Chivalry, was it?
Yes,
Sorry.
I'm
Don't
one of the ones afflicted.
understand. I don't know if there's much I can do for you in this world, but if you ever need spiritual guidance or assistance, I'm here for you.
So Chivalry is at war in his own mind because this is a horrible situation he's in. He is so happy that that Father Silas is talking to him like this, but has no idea how to bring up that he's already taken confession with Father Silas before.
I'm sorry, he doesn't remember you. He didn't pass the perception check. It's been a busy couple of days for him.
Look, I mean, usually you don't tell the priest who you are when you're doing confession.
Yeah, but it should be obvious there was no confession booth.
I see.
And Chivalry's
You're not even the fifth puppet he's seen this week.
oh.
I have no idea if that's true. I don't actually know if there's other
So
puppet
here's the
names.
thing. You're not entirely wrong, because he gives confession to gargoyles. You know those giant stone creatures with the caved-in faces? Yeah,
I was speaking of. Is one of the deputies around here? I know one of them was holed up at the church.
Yeah, Bear Spray is helping the visitors find lodging.
I'm gonna go find Bear Spray.
anyone else do anything else at the church as well? Anyone hopping in on this? Or?
Mr. President's like checking his broken watch. He's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna be late to the union meeting."
Bill, Chivalry is going to go with. Bill will go with Charlie, and Chivalry will go to check the crack to make sure that nothing's happened to it in the time that some part of Dredger's group was here.
So as you go to check the crack, make a perception check for me.
Alright, let's see what is my Shivbor's percept.
Tom, if you stall the crack, I'm going to do things to you in real life.
You can't keep threatening Tom. He won't do anything in Evil Squad. It's boring Squad.
Good.
That's just because I haven't had the chance to do the really fucked up thing yet. I've been building up to it.
Boring
Next,
Squad.
he's going to make the world's smallest Pop-Tart.
The Nano Tart!
Honestly.
Okay, perception, oh, come on, actually load for me. God damn it. Okay, 3 6s
Cool.
with duration.
So as you look through the crack, you get a few brief flashes, and this area was dark and the shadows seem to recede a little bit as you look at the crack. And for just a moment, just the barest hint of a moment, you see a figure collapsed in a white hoodie that's stained black around the front and the arms. Dried blood, a sweet and also sickening smell of decay. And then the next instant, it's gone.
Chivalry probably recognizes that
I think you do.
and recoils immediately and shoots back upstairs at the fastest speed he possibly can to go find Charlie and Mr. President.
You get there in like one round. You're very fast.
And
Yeah.
fucking punts him down.
Zimp.
I mean, I could slam the guitar and be as fast as I want, but
Oh, jeez,
Speed
no.
run
You
strats.
die. I think you just die.
it's just like, oh shit, sorry, I got scared. Chivalry.
Man, the moon's cool. Wish I could go there. Wait, I can't.
Nah.
Chivalry.
For Mr. President.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you get there, you two do run into Bear Spray as he's helping a man who's very obviously out of town. He looks like he's either from like Cargo or Slaughter's Corner. He's giving him directions in Spanish. Pats him on the back, gives him a holy rosary, and he notices you guys, gives you a wave, goes, "Hey, what's up?"
I understand Spanish. What did he say?
Oh, he was just asking where the cots were, if it was free. Is there any like racial violence in the area? Cargo's a very torn up place. It's the borders.
Okay.
Cargo itself is actually a really nice town. I know there's a lot of bad rumors about it, but it's actually an incredibly nice town. And this is when Chivalry pops in.
Got it.
So is Chivalry happening first, or is talking to Bear Spray happening first?
How do you guys want to play it?
Well, if Chivalry looks concerned, that'll probably happen first.
Yeah, he's panting. He just shot in at... I believe his max speed is 300 miles per hour, so it was
fast.
quite abrupt. Quite upsettingly abrupt.
Sorry, Bear Spray, 1 second, I'm gonna go deal with that.
Bear Spray gives you a thumbs up, goes back to helping people. What's
I've never seen a teddy bear out of breath. What's wrong?
I looked through the crack. And I don't really know how it works, but I saw Urban Decay.
Okay, but Urban Decay exists in the other side.
Not like that, I thought. I thought.
So he was outside of the crack. He was in your reality.
Oh, okay. Can I take a peek down there and see if I see any, like, traces of Urban Decay's power?
So, you don't notice traces of his power. And in fact, you don't see him down there, but you notice the dark is a little darker than it should be. Kind of like that. You saw it happen with Corey once, where he invoked something like this. And Lug as well. What's your passive perception, by the way?
5 hard dice, although I would imagine I'm currently doing active perception.
Yes.
So I can make that a minimum of 8 tens.
Awesome. Okay. So, you don't notice any active signs of his power, but you do notice a very familiar shade of black blood, just a single drop of it near the edge where Quake first cast Urban Decay into the chasm. And while that's not notable in and of itself, there is some dried blood splatter. It doesn't rot properly for him. This one is fresher than it should be.
I see. Interesting. I should probably tell Silas that.
Hey, it's your prerogative.
I mean, if there's fresh evidence of Urban Decay in the church, they might want to know about that.
Not in the church per se, just nearby.
Okay, well, I have glass there. I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
If that being the case, I'm gonna go talk to Bear Spray. I want to tell him that the mannequin is actively dying from being overworked. One sec.
Speaking of actively dying.
Who's actively dying? Is it Tom? Yes, I was.
Always a safe bet.
Yeah, so Mannequin is trying to hire on deputies. They really seem to want to see if they could get the old deputies back. Sans Cyborg, but they'll take what they can get, I think.
Bear Spray mulls that over. And wouldn't be half bad without Cyborg there, I'm not gonna lie, but I have my issues with all of them. Mannequins.
You're Peter.
Look, Mannequin. I just want someone a little bit more dedicated to the job than they are. Once they fuck out, they're just done. And
good news for that. There's a guy Amp joined, and they literally will not clock out.
That's interesting. Huh. Anyone else?
Oh, Chivalry joined, technically, but not as dedicated as Amp.
I didn't join. I have
You were
been
forced to join.
I have been watching AMP to ensure that doesn't do anything untoward. I am a parole officer unwittingly for the Grey Wall.
Okay, cool. I don't know what that is, but I'm glad to hear we have a parole officer now. We've been needing one of those.
Also, for reference of who AMP is as a person, they were directly involved just outside in Salsa Event Gamma.
Salsa what?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not going to explain. Anyway, AMP probably needs guidance. I don't think they know how to read well enough to have read the entire law book and such.
Oh no.
Mannequin's desperate.
Aren't they, like, apparently on some big case? Aren't they, like, Mannequin's, like, best officer?
A rising star in need of guidance, you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
How you pull Bear Spray in?
I'm gonna need a persuasion check from everyone here.
I will roll, but non-hyper charm.
I'm gonna roll.
You're stripping
3 10s,
I don't
Sam.
have hyper charm to roll.
so many cuts.
Is it 3
Did
10?
I?
Produce more.
Astounding!
Let me see
I
what.
didn't get a match. I have 7 die and I didn't get a match.
Ooh, Shiv got 410.
Do you use hyper charm?
I kind of can't not use hyper charm with how chivalry works.
But it's you can choose to not be like.
Instead of using hard dice, you can use roll the normal dice, I thought.
Yeah, you can
it's-
choose to not use hard dice, but it's. I don't think chivalry has hard dice, does he?
He does.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll the wiggle dice as normal dice too, or?
No. So you can choose to not roll hard dice. You can choose to just turn them off, and not.
Okay. Let me roll.
Technically, I can put my mental immunity on him so that his hyper charm wouldn't work.
Either way, I re-rolled and I got 2 10s.
That's fine. Bear Spray's mulling it over. He's gonna think very hard for a second and go, Father Silas, I might have to go back to volunteering. That's a damn shame, but as long as we still have you on the weekends. Where are you heading back to? He's gonna nod and go, I'm going back to the deputies, and he just fucking pulls out a pin and a fucking cowboy hat he just had in his back pocket this entire time.
Oh.
Sick.
Um,
I like to imagine he has to like blow the hat up like a balloon because it's real scrunched.
Now, if I remember correctly,
Wait.
there was one of them that would return contingent on Bear Spray returning.
Gargoyle just wants the family back. He just wants everyone back there.
Okay.
There-
We have Mannequin, Cyborg technically under a different name, and Bear Spray back. So Gargoyle should be the easiest to convince.
I'm just gonna send Gargoyle a message with
The band's
With
back
the
together.
boy and ask him to. I'll say the band of deputies back together. If you would like to talk to it, you can speak with us at the candy shop. If you would like to just go
Why would he
join the
speak to us?
deputies, that's also cool.
So the second
You
you
know.
say the band's back together, it's actually disconcerting seeing this like 7-foot tall, bald-headed, muscle-bound man squeal like a little girl as he fucking skips over to the deputy's office.
Horrifying.
Would like Derek to say what he's putting into chat out loud because I'm very curious.
What? We love you, Bear Spray. I feel like this is a reference to something I don't know.
Just like those movies with rock bands and whatnot. How there's always the female fan with the sign "We love you."
Because we're getting
Yeah.
the band back together. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that's the Black Deputies restored.
Oh my god! Can Amp gain a willpower because part of his goals was getting the band back together?
That's a creative reimagining. Gain of willpower. The
Is Amp a
longest
deputy?
con I've ever.
I like to imagine.
Deputy?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Anyway, we should go back to the candy shop post haste because Bob wanted to talk with the Rune Mother.
As it's chivalry.
Yeah. Sorry, Bob. Tom. I know my friends' names.
Hey Bob, who do your characters want to speak to? Oh, Bob, you're muted.
I don't know.
Okay, let me throw a scene in here. So Karenade is busy filing the 16 stacks of paperwork as the other deputies get in. Cyborg is currently wearing the fucking mascot helmet, hiding his identity. Bear Spray comes in all happy to see Gargoyle, looks immediately to Deputy Cyborg, sees through the ruse and goes,
Amp will interrupt and body slam the Gary onto Carradade's table. Got another one, buddy!
Amp, did you file the proper paperwork?
Listen, you know the answer, and so do I.
Okay, at this point, Bear Spray's instincts kicked in, so he's going to put a hand on Amp's shoulder and go, look, there's no shame in not knowing how to read.
Who told you? This was supposed to be a secret between you and me, Carradine. I can't believe you blabbed my deepest secret.
You know I don't have a social life. I haven't told anybody anything.
Oh, that's fair.
Gargoyle's going to be slack-jawed. He's going to get up behind Bear Spray, point at, like, Carronade, and excitedly whisper, oh my god, he's perfect.
I don't have a social life because of the paperwork. I made it through 32 stacks of 1,000 pages in the last 2 days. You give me another 2 days, and all the paperwork will be done.
Ample transfer another 1,000 pages.
Give me another 2.5 days, and all the paperwork will be done.
That was for yesterday's arrest. I forgot to fill those out.
Gargoyle's gonna, like, get in next to you on the desk, Carronade, and go, no, watch this. He takes out his brass knuckles, punches the floor, his hand sinks, and as he just rips this giant stone construct out of the floor, he puts a pen in the fucking molten gaping maw of the gargoyle. It leans down and starts doing the paperwork. He goes, huh?
Give me another day and a quarter, and I'll have this done.
You'll love to see it. Alright, so that's the deputies settling back into their groove.
Ample debrief them on the hunter.
It's like Amp has a fucking... Amp has a corkboard with red string, but all the thumbtacks are made out of unicorn horn.
Ethically sourced. Wait, no. God, how far does this
They're
go?
just part of the raids. They're part of the raids.
I'm gonna send
I
a
get a
message.
souvenir from every raid.
I would like to send a message to that's called theft. Anyway, I'm gonna send a message to Mannequin. No context. I'm just gonna say you're welcome.
So at this point, her and Quartz are wrapping up the fucking, I guess at this point, 8-hour-long date they've been on.
Cute.
He's just gone, so yeah, I had a lot of fun. And I don't do that often, so this was really nice. Quartz is going to nod and go, yes, this was a date. Alright, so I'm going home. Contact me if you want. And Mannequin's going to go, absolutely. And then they're just going to awkwardly shake hands and part ways.
Oh,
How dare you regurgitate the first date I went on to me, Sam? How fucking dare you?
Hey, so I would like to invoke Charlie's power to say the truth in real life. Did that happen to you?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Derek.
I'll ask about this later.
Okay, so...
In retrospect, it was one of the most awkward moments in my entire life.
Sam, is the prison still overcrowded from all of Amp's arrests?
No, Carronade, through processing the paperwork, got people out. That being said, it's becoming overcrowded with the unicorn case. Except these ones are a hot lot hard to clear out because apparently fucking everyone is involved in this shit. Okay.
What a nothing comment I made.
So, we're gonna get back to the Candy Ragnarok. You see that the Candy Ragnarok between the soldiers and Candy Folk, they are now just currently fighting a shrimp. They've united to fight a shrimp that has wandered into the Candy Ragnarok.
wait, I have to ask an incredibly important question. When you say we roll by the Candy Ragnarok, do you mean that the spirit of the unknown is just capable of flying directly to this space?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
always has been.
Fuck.
Now the issue is you are now Candy Ragnarok size. The shrimp is the size of a kaiju.
Sick.
Mr. President's like, I don't have time for that. I have like so much paperwork to do. Like,
Hey, the door's up there. Just hop up there.
but I'm the size of a toy soldier.
Every time that's happened, I've gone back to regular size when I leave the room.
I'm gonna try to leave the room.
You are now regular size, just looking down at the Candy Ragnarok. You didn't even have to move, you just had to have the will to leave the room.
Okay.
The shrimp is now about the size of a small dog. This is a shrimp that is just hatched. And you see artillery strikes just fucking obliterate half of it. As the soldiers make quick work of it. So as the Spirit of the Unknown lands, you see both Candy Soldier and Toy Soldier celebrating, sharing drinks. The guillotines built hastily and just as quickly forgotten lay in the background, being used to chop fruit. You see,
What a scene.
see
The
Johnny-
next Hero Squad is gonna be in Candy Ragnarok.
That's Candy Squad. Okay, so you see the Rune Mother and Johnny on a nearby rooftop sharing a beer. They look like they've just been through the ringer.
What does the Rune Mother actually look like? I don't believe she's ever been described.
She is
Dummy
drinking
mommy.
through her gas mask,
Okay.
not taking it off.
Is anything that Chris just said true?
I'm just gonna not acknowledge it. Not
That's
giving
fair.
it
That's
power.
By saying that, you've given him power.
Tom is giving me power. Alright.
The more power I give him the next time, the more power I give Chris, the more it'll hurt him the next time I try to get him to take and destroy his keyboard. It's how I get my kicks.
When he can't pass the ghost on, he just tries to spit tape in room technology.
Awful.
Seriously though, Bob, if you want money for that keyboard, I am glad to give it to you.
Okay, so you guys can land the Spirit of the Unknown on that rooftop, or at least let a ladder down so you can speak. It looks like they're both like in a relaxed mood. It's not like a tense situation.
It might make more sense to land in the square and then climb up there so our intent's a little more obvious. Because, like, just airdropping in makes it seem like it's probably a lot more urgent than it actually is.
I would like to airdrop in.
So your terminal velocity is very different when you're tiny. You just jump off the side of the Spirit of the Unknown, and it's like floating down as you just land on this roof.
I'm just gonna like put my hands on my hips, look up, and wait for Chivalry and Bill to follow.
Chivalry will sigh and jump down. Bill is actually there. When you turn around, you didn't even notice him jump.
Is this a teleportation, or can he beat my perception?
That's the weird thing. You know he can't. It's just true.
Okay.
Chivalry floats down like a leaf. It takes an awkwardly long amount of time. You see Johnny and the Rune Mother placing bets on how long it's going to take.
How long does it take?
About 16 seconds.
Okay, still faster than I thought.
Johnny curses as he pays the Rune Mother.
I offer nothing, but I guess that it's gonna take 12 minutes.
You know, in Charlie time, you're right. Anyway.
I like to a fist bump when he lands.
Chivalry will very awkwardly return it.
No, pump, not bump.
Oh, okay. Chivalry will very awkwardly return it.
Here, you pumped this.
As Chivalry comes in for a landing, he kind of brushes himself off and looks and nods and Just nuts about Jesus. I just lost it. Give me a second.
Jesus here?
Jesus is probably in the city somewhere. I feel like he's in the mall, though.
Hey, Derek.
Ah!
Captain Dumont looks down. There are 2 of the 29 masters below you.
I was wondering.
Holy shit. Captain Dumont, with his headband and gi, will vault from the Spirit of the Unknown and do a 3-point superhero landing. Roll up his sleeves and go, "At last, the prophesied time has arrived. I must challenge the great masters."
Can we have like 5 minutes?
He is already gone looking for them.
Okay, Dumont, if I show you exactly where they are, will you wait for our conversation to end before you try and fight them?
Chivalry puts his hand on your shoulder, which he fails to do, and puts it somewhere on your shin, and says, "No, don't worry about it, Charlie. It's something about this space. It just makes people want to fight. Let him have his fun."
You see Johnny, like, throw off his overcoat and just fucking jump off the roof going, "I knew this time would come!"
Finally, we meet!
Captain Dumont!
I'm gonna sidestep the
Johnny the Master!
It's just Switchblade.
Switchblade the Master!
You're getting closer, buddy. I believe in you.
Captain Dumont will do the whole. Hang on. There's a specific martial arts fight that I'm imagining. Actually, no. He's gonna do the whole Pirates versus Ninja pizza thing. Hang on.
Okay. While you're looking that up, we're going to cut to the
Yes.
conversation.
Go ahead.
Chivalry and Bill actually wanted to be here, so I want them to go first.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head what Bill wanted. Let me scroll up a bit.
Well, then start with Chivalry while you're doing that.
Okay, Bill. Wow. Chivalry asks the Rune Mother. I didn't meet you on the best of pretenses the first time, but I wasn't myself then. I would like to extend my apologies about Oslo.
He was a good one. But, frankly, he wouldn't have put himself in danger if he didn't see worth in you. That's
Yes.
the type he was.
Do you recall that time where time itself was not so set?
Vaguely.
I'm gonna look over at Chivalry like, what are you doing, buddy?
When we were there was another one with us, the lad who was bound to me, and I to him by this curse. Are you aware of what he has become now?
Not in the slightest, unfortunately. It's been about a bit outside of our view.
Oslo had warned him that he shouldn't let his power ride him. And yet he did. He is something else now. I'm not capable of saying directly what has happened to him, but he's turning waterlogged.
I see.
I don't know exactly. I can only get snippets and the vaguest dreams of what he's doing, but he's found some way to let them go further and further into the hatred till they come out something else on the other side.
Cutting to the chase, I imagine you're looking for help in putting him down.
That, or if the whalers can't help with that, I just figured you would want to know.
We would. This is difficult. She's going to think for a second. She's going to take a swig through her gas mask. And you're not sure how the fluid mechanics of that work, but it's
He really doesn't give a fuck. He drinks through his mustache. Not even noteworthy.
She's gonna consider it for a second and go. She's going to hand you a small shiv made out of blackened whalebone. This is very fragile, but you jam it into something, it'll sever whatever connections they have to this world or the next, and then it will break immediately.
Thank you.
It's... We normally use it for pinning whales down, but I suppose this will suffice.
It's more appreciated than you can imagine. And when we learn more of where exactly they're holed up, we'll share that information with you as well.
Please do.
We learned at the church that they might have a scourgeon with them.
She locks up at that one, turns to look at you, gazes intently, going, "Are you certain?"
They sent some clones as a distraction, and each of them had buried in their head a small lump of black chitin.
I'll need to return to the cannery immediately.
As she says that, Bill kind of raises his finger and says, mine is nowhere near as important, ma'am, but I do have something I feel I need to apologize for.
Go ahead.
I'd like to first apologize for how long I was in whaler territory, just doing whatever the hell any gestures of the tooth wanted me to, and allowing my artifact to control me in your lands when you aren't really fans of that. And oh, this is such a bad idea, but I thought about this,
Just go for it.
I'm saying, Bill's like, I mostly like to apologize because I feel like I've been making fun of you for a few years in a way that...
Charlie's gonna put his head in his hands right now.
It's just Tom being awkward in front of new people. This is just normal Tom. This isn't Bayou Bill. This is just Tom.
No, this is a thing that Bill has felt bad about for years, Chris. I've been calling him this Tooth the Gator song, and I'm really sorry about that. I didn't want you to hear about it some other way.
She turns her head, goes, "Gator song is just a term people use. Why would you feel bad about that?"
Because you got the whale song, and I thought I was quite...
Bill. Stop.
Do you think the whale song is some sort of sacred name? No, we named it that because it makes it sound like a whale song. We are not a particularly pious or reverent people.
I feel I had to apologize to you either way, but as Bill says that, such a weight is lifted, such a non-existent weight is lifted off of his shoulders that he is now 6 inches taller.
What a soldier's will ask. So wait, does your tooth sound like a gator singing?
Bill says, you aren't real, I misspoke.
The soldier realizes it can't speak and fades into paradox.
I was just assuming one of the officers would walk up because it'd be funny.
Candy Ragnarok giveth and taketh.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb. Did Charlie have anything they wanted to say at the end there, or was that... Are you guys mostly done?
Nope. I think I have kind of a question for her, but it's not time sensitive, and I think hers is, so she should leave.
Alright. The Rune Mother is going to tap a rune on her sash, and in a kind of visual distortion, the kind you get when you look at the sun too long and look at something normal, that kind of black after image, that flashes across your vision for a second, and then she is gone. 5 seconds, around the start of this conversation, we're cutting it back. Johnny's switchblade is throwing his overcoat back. He points at a nearby building. His name is emblazoned with flame on the side. He points at another building. Dumond, but it's misspelled, bursts into flames on the other building.
Almost immediately, one of the cannons on the Spirit of the Unknown swivels to aim at it and shaves it back into the proper spelling.
I assume it's spelled like that.
I thought it was going to be with a T.
Oh.
There's a Q in there.
No, it gets fixed by the Spirit of the Unknown almost immediately.
I thought fire was my shtick.
Excellent. Well, if everyone watched the video with the right where it starts, the whole definitely doing that whole sound effect in motion. Also, the Pizza Jitsu theme, except without the Pizza Jitsu bit, is playing right now.
Oh yeah.
So Johnny has taken off his overcoat.
Good.
If we're going to take this to be the mechanical version, you are now capable of hitting Johnny on with one attacks. Second, he is going to light himself on fire.
Excellent.
His attacks now have burning, but he is now on fire.
Cool.
He is then immediately going to go. So what are you the master of?
I am the master of the blinding fists of the seventh sun. Prepare to meet your doom.
He's going to lower his... I swear to God we were in a pirate movie a minute ago, but alright.
Did I... Sam, I can't remember if I told you, but I bought the stay in character on the crew instead of on Captain Dumond.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the crew are there, and this is invoked, so...
Okay, I wasn't aware. So now that it's set, Johnny is going to crack his knuckles and go, okay, so if we're staying in character, Johnny is going to, like, pull out, like, a mini bottle of spirits, crack it with one hand, and you see, like, ethereal blue flames coat his fists. He snaps his fingers, and the entire setting goes kind of like stark black and white, like a neo-noir movie.
Oh!
I raise you the Midnight Fist. Have at thee.
Oh! The legendary Midnight Fist. No! I will not be daunted. Your doom is now for what you have done to my village.
In my defense, you live in a fucking village. How cringe is that?
I also thought that was my shtick. What the fuck are you guys doing stealing my shticks? Propulsion just sitting in the corner.
Propulsion?
So,
We get a three-way bout, Propulsion.
Johnny's
I'm not gonna
declare-
fight someone for stealing my shtick.
Johnny's going to declare at with one, because he only has one sense currently. He is going to rush in, and he is going to... He has one dice in body, one dice in unarmed. They're both wiggle dice, so he's going to go for 10s, and I don't think he gets past your heavy armor.
No. Wait, is that as much as he can do?
For now.
Johnny only rolls... It's much better than it used to be. He used to just roll one dice for everything, period. But he's taken off his limiter, which is his over.
Well, he's staying in character. He gets an extra die.
Oh, very cool. He's going to go with 2 10s anyway. Now, I want to point out, he's taken off his overcoat. He's taken off one of his power limiters. It's made him infinitely weaker. So...
In that case, I don't have my heavy armor.
Oh. Excellent. So the 2 10s are... Because he rolled an 8 with that extra dice, and I'm just going with the 2 10s. He is Actually, you know what? I'll take a penalty dice to make this a dazing attack. So, you see Johnny move forward and just clock you with the burning fist in the face.
Captain Dumont will spin around through the air, big ol' fucking fist mark on his face, but he'll land it in a 3-point and get up and brush himself off and.
Okay, so you're only taking one shock to the head, but you're going to take 2 days for 2 rounds, and you're on fire. So you're going to be taking one shock to all hit locations every round, and you need to make a stability check to keep going.
I have hard dice and stability.
Does it have endless?
Pretty sure, yeah, it has endless.
Then you're fine.
Okay. So, is it Captain Dumont's turn?
Yes.
Captain Dumont will gasp dramatically, "Such power! But I will yet defeat you!" And then charge in and use, let me post it, his martial arts style. If I can actually find where I put it. There we go.
Do you want me to get? Okay.
I got it, because I altered it the way you suggested. Awesome. Thank you. Good night. I love you. Wish me luck.
Johnny says,
Thank
I
you.
love you too.
And I love you, random citizen. Give me a sec. I just re-received my heater. Captain Dumont staring blankly into the distance.
I heard Tom's comment that Dumont just accidentally grabbed all the Naruto volumes from Avery's library.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, I didn't see that had reduced capacity.
It can't have touch only and reduced capacity.
Yeah,
You have lied to me, Seth.
I missed that. Just drop 1 penetration and drop reduced capacity.
Or you could give it horrifying because of how fucking wild it is.
Nah. This is just hits really fast. This is one of those like, you know,
Hell yeah.
sort of things. So Captain Dumont will charge in and open up with the blinding fists of the seventh sun,
Why is blank -4?
because that's how many points of blank there is on the original ability.
Okay, so remember, you can hit Johnny on a width of 1. So how many dice are you rolling?
I didn't put. Hang on, sorry. Yeah. That is.
Because however many dice you roll, that's how many attacks you're getting off this round, bud.
What?
Johnny took off his coat. You can hit him on width 1 now.
Well, it's 5 wiggle dice and 5 dice.
So you can hit him 5 times or 10 times.
Correct. You're guaranteed to hit him 10 times.
Okay, well, I rolled a 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that plus. I'm just going to roll them all since we're doing it that way. I'll just roll 10 dice.
Excellent.
So we're going to do. Let's post these. That's where the hits land.
All right, and that has attack level +3. All right, so you see Johnny's ribs fucking collapse as your blows lay into him. His limbs being sundered. One of his arms twists around so the bones break, going out of the limbs. He's coughing up blood as he's thrown backwards. He's struggling to get up. For a minute, it looks like he's reaching for a power, and then he goes, no. The power of the Midnight Fist alone. And then he grabs a few needles from his coat and...
Didn't he throw his coat off?
From his
Okay.
pocket, because his coat is gone.
Doesn't matter. His coat's right there on the ground next to him, conveniently.
And you see him swish one of the needles through the darkness with his one unbroken finger, and like threads made of stars, you see the needle work its way into his body, and you see this like woven night just kind of crack his bones and skin back into place. If Bill is looking down, he would recognize it as one of the Midnight Crew techniques, but taken to a higher level than it normally is.
Does Johnny get a bonus for Bill being here?
Only if you choose to.
Bill will withhold that for the honor of combat.
So you see Johnny just snap back into place. Now, here's how just better works. Or better than you. That 10 attacks is treated as 10 attacks he failed to dodge, which his power will treat as 10 ways you are better than him. So, you have a maximum... Yep, that's a maximum die pool of 10. Johnny's going to get 10 wiggle dice on everything.
I get my heavy armor back.
Nice! So does he.
That doesn't matter.
So Johnny, everything you have, he has 1 dice better.
Okay.
He is going to combine that with some of his Midnight Crew techniques. So, you see Johnny get back up. Now, has Bill explained how that technique works? Because it's been explained to you once before. Or has it not come up?
I don't think it's come up.
Not Crew's healing power?
Yeah.
I don't think Bill would have explained it since he didn't take it as an option.
Fair enough.
So, if this is a martial arts duel, I think to stay in character, you would have to loudly explain it as you saw it happening.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
Bill will be in the corner, and suddenly, just as that wash of like black and white light covers the entire scene, nobody. If you look at him directly, you can't see it, but in your peripheral vision, Bill is dressed exactly like Yamcha, and he's standing like, my God, that's Midnight Alms. He's just sewed his body back together. like a
Dramatic
doll.
gasp.
The technique is so dangerous. One hit and it's all undone.
Captain Dumont doesn't actually dramatically gasp. He just says dramatic gasp. Actually, he says something completely incomprehensible, but the subtitles say dramatic gasp.
Damn scanlators.
And you notice that the daze isn't affecting him. You recognize that as like God, and as a member of the Midnight Crew, he's immune to disabling auras, daze, and other effects.
I'll have to use my utmost to defeat him.
Johnny flicks a cigarette that he hadn't had before or hadn't lit. Goes, "No, you won't." And he just melts into the darkness. You lose track of him.
I would like to close my eyes and use my other senses, since, as one knows, when you lose sight, your other senses become 10 times as acute. So I'm going to fight him with hearing and sense of smell alone.
All right.
If you have any leftover chakra, use it now.
All right. Gain 1 normal bonus dice. Gain some dice for being in character, however many you're up to. I think 2. And I need you to roll perception for me.
Yeah.
So does he get, like, armor or dodge?
3 10s.
Very cool. So you smell Johnny's overwhelming aftershave. You have a pretty good...
Your stench gives you away!
You just hear him yell out, "This was a gift! How dare
It
you!"
was a shit gift!
Alright, so, since you succeeded the perception check, he's not going to gain bonuses from attacking you from stealth. Actually, what is your stealth roll, Derek?
You want me to roll stealth?
No, I need to know so I can calculate Johnny's stealth pool, because it's going to be 1 dice better than yours.
Technically, I have no stealth skill.
Excellent. What's your coordination?
Technically, I have none of that either.
What? You have to have some, otherwise you can't move.
I have hyperstats. I don't know whether this counts as that.
Yes.
It
But
does,
they're
yeah.
subtle. I don't know how that works. But
I
in
don't
that
think
case,
that
it would be
matters.
5.
Okay.
But I do have no points in stealth until I need to have points in stealth.
Excellent. So I'm gonna treat Johnny's as being lowered because he's wearing an enormous amount of fucking aftershave. So that
Excellent.
tracks. Okay, so Phil Nor can't hide Drakkar Nor. Okay, so Johnny's going in with a punch. This is going to be an opposed roll. So actually, Johnny should declare after Dumont. His sense is going to be higher now.
Actually, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How does whatever his power is better than you? How does that interact with plot armor,
So
which is a 4 hard dice defends interference?
it would be the same stats with 5 hard dice.
So he has 5 hard dice of plot armor.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So what are the flaws on plot armor? Because I know it is it disabled whenever it's a plot critical fight, or
Willpower bid and narratively driven.
so if yours is disabled because this is a narratively important fight for you, then his is disabled as well.
Okay, great. I mean, the narrative is finding the legendary masters and fighting them. So yeah, no plot armor here, boys.
All right.
Oh, that's so funny.
Is the other legendary master in this scene going to get involved? You said there were 2 in the Candy Ragnarok.
Mother left.
Oh.
That's all right. We'll find her. We'll find her later. Well, Captain Dubond will dig deep within him and summon up the legendary technique of the Blinding Fist of the Seventh Sun,
Okay.
and use this.
Oh no.
It go very fast.
All right.
Blinding Fist of the Seventh Sun.
So, Johnny is going to use the evasive fist, so he's going to get 10 wiggle dice in dodge. He's going to set them all to 10. Now, Derek, if your initiative is higher, he doesn't have interference on those yet. So, I need to know what the with you roll is, because there's still a very good chance you go off before him.
Hey, update it real quick.
Okay, what?
Update it. I made a slight change.
Copy. We're crowdsourcing this fight. Nice.
This
Nice.
is what happens when you actually fight with the power of friendship.
So you can only use a maximum of 10 dice, right?
Yes.
So if I've got 5
Correct.
wiggle dice, I can only roll a maximum of 5 extra dice.
You can use that to get spray, though, just in case.
Actually-
or multiple actions. Or the fast attack, which gives you +1 go first.
Now,
Which
if you
might matter here.
If you go faster than Johnny when he's dodging, his dodge doesn't go off because he doesn't have interference on it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you roll a width of 6, but you have 5 levels and go first, then he can't dodge that.
I think you need to go for the head and put him down in one punch, otherwise you just lose.
Okay. So should I've got 12 dice in the pool total.
So you can burn one to do a called shot to the head, which will set one of the dice you roll to 10. You could also do a... Let me look up maneuvers real quick, because I don't remember them all off the top of my
You can
head.
do fast attack, which is another penalty dice that gives you an extra level go first. You can do mighty
Which-
blow, which increases the damage by 1.
I apologize, but I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Hey, good night.
Powerful... Wait. Is powerful one of the...
Okay, why don't we just do fast attack and called shot to
I
the
don't
head.
think you need to do fast attack, though. You could do powerful attack, which does +1 width for damage.
Oh yeah, it's powerful attack, isn't it? Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 10, so and I've got 5.
You've got 5 plus minimum of
5.
6. So you're faster.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need fast attack, do powerful attack, so you're...
We do powerful attack, cold shot head, and then roll 4 dice, right?
Yes. And any 10s are very nice here.
1 10. What do you know?
Tom, do you want to... Are we still doing the announcer from the side bit?
Sure.
All right. So the evasive fist it's a dodge where if the dodge, after the dodge goes off, it leads into a free unarmed attack for the Midnight Crew member.
Bill says that verbatim based on a typewriter-made sheet of paper that one of the crew has handed him to read out. Because that's not one of the powers you said me. I didn't know that.
Right, yeah, it was on the second tier list. Sorry.
No, that makes it funny. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's 7 10s with 5 levels of go first and an extra level of damage from powerful, right? Or
Yes.
yeah.
All right, so you clock Johnny in the face. That's what, 7 shock and killing?
8.
8 shock and killing. Right, powerful attack. Now, here's the important question: does plot armor's light armor turn off?
Plot armor and the light armor and heavy armor are separate abilities.
Okay. So let me know how much normal light armor and heavy armor you have, and how many extra tough you normally have.
5 hard dice of everything.
Okay, so he's got 6.
Disgusting.
So he's gonna be up still. But here's the thing. His normal hitboxes are actually still full. So he only has the extra tough because the Midnight Alms are gonna break as soon as you hit him. You see the threads rip and... Oh, wait, the heavy armor is separate?
Yes.
And he has 6 because you have 5.
He doesn't have any because it's not running.
You said... I thought the heavy armor was part of plot armor, but you just said that's separate?
No, heavy armor is part of plot armor. The light armor, I think, is not.
Derek, is that correct? Please confirm.
Fuck, I don't remember. I think they're all separate. Sorry.
Okay. So the heavy armor is not part of plot armor?
The heavy armor is plot armor.
Okay.
They
Okay.
all part of? Yeah, they're all part of plot armor.
Okay, I was wrong.
Okay.
The beauty when the two most mechanically complicated characters fight.
All right. So Johnny's gonna get hit. I think he is gonna have to burn some willpower to stay up. I'm gonna try and calculate how much. Let's see here.
Does the fact that he has penetration 4 matter?
No, because the Midnight Crew, when they do a dodge, they get a shit ton of free light armor.
Gotcha.
So he's gonna have to spend 5 willpower to stay up. That's mostly on the head and torso.
Does that does that armor happen because the dodge hasn't happened yet?
No, it just comes whenever they attempt a dodge.
Okay.
The attack fails. So, you see Johnny's ribcage just split open. Again, the fist stops inches away from Dumon's face. As he goes. He's still on his feet, still standing. He looks up. He's gonna mull it over. And he's gonna put his fist in his hand. He's gonna bow and go, "You've bested me, sir."
Captain Dumont will step back, fist in palm, bow. A grand battle. Perhaps we will meet once again on the honorable field of combat.
Probably not. Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Charlie's gonna slip him the healing candy as they leave.
there's going to be a couple members of the crew dressed in similar colors to Johnny Switchblade as he leaves the quote unquote arena, who are going to pat him on the back, commiserating as they walk away with him. He didn't bring his own martial arts minions, so I loaned him some.
Very kind of you.
Chivalry had something he needed to ask Johnny about, as did Bill. Bill didn't have anything for the Rune Mother, which is why I did the stupid thing, because I choked.
Oh, then in that case, Johnny was going to go back to his case of beer, look for the Rune Mother, point at you guys, asking, like, hey, what's going on?
She had to go. Something came up.
It always does. He takes a bite out of the top of the bottle, like, not opening the bottle cap with his teeth, like, just straight up biting the glass off and chugging.
Okay.
Okay, Homer Simpsoning it. Hell yeah.
Damn, dude, that was edgy even for me.
You see Johnny munching the glass, mouthful of blood going, what?
So,
Precisely.
Chivalry walks up and says, before you passed out earlier, it seemed like you had something to say to me.
Right! Oh, God, right. Okay, so, Avery. He's on the rebound. I thought he had a thing for puppets. My breed was bad. He has a thing for knights. Anyway, so, God, he's on the rebound. He's not taking the breakup well at all. So... and, like, the guy he's with, like, he's a 10 out of 10, I will admit, but he's so fucking dumb. He doesn't know what he's getting into. He doesn't understand that there's a prior power dynamic that he's buying into. He doesn't understand that there's expectations being levied onto him that he hasn't necessarily agreed with, nor has any real obligation to live up to. I don't think it's a predatory dynamic by any means, but it's not a healthy one.
Chivalry blinks. Blinks again. Charlie, a little help.
Charlie has sat down and he is like actively biting his wrist to try and not be wheezing over this.
Alright. Switchblade, what exactly is... What do you mean rebound?
Well, after you two broke up, is that... You were a thing, right?
Not romantically. In a lot of ways, it was more like a father and son relationship.
Oh, I didn't know you were into that.
Switchblade, I need you to listen to me very carefully.
Yeah?
It was never a romantic thing.
Hey, I just
want
want
to be anything romantic with daddy play.
I just want to. I need to take a moment to roll an empathy check to see if he's messing with him or if he just genuinely thinks this.
Go for it.
That's 2 9s, 5 9s.
It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like, he's catching on, but this is very funny for him. He still has it completely wrong, though. Just in a different way.
Chivalry will say, now, when you say who's the knight he's with,
oh God,
just trying to.
I'm trying to remember the name.
name.
I'm trying to remember the name, but I did gulp down an incredibly toxic substance like very shortly after meeting them, and it did cause massive organ failure, including the brain. So I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Now, do you think that might explain why you've been misinterpreting the situation?
No, I started doing that before I drank the toxic lake.
Okay.
I am just.
But
like
you
this.
think the lad is doing something wrong as it relates to this acquaintance of his?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Do you think the acquaintance can be saved?
Probably. I don't think he knows what's going on, period.
All right. All right, now.
Also, they did seize the Lake of Souls from the Ragman, which is probably bad.
All right, I'm gonna not think about what I was about to say to you and ask what.
The Lake of Souls is a place of power in the Southern Bog, where the souls of the dead coalesce before moving on to their respective afterlives. It's like how you know when it rains and a hollowed out mountain catches the rain. It's like that, but for souls.
Could they pull things that weren't human?
They have the Son of the Carrie Ling show?
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
sorry.
It doesn't do human souls. Only animals. Only
Sorry,
animals.
it's like a hollow in the top of a mountain that gets filled with water. So what you're saying is that it's inevitably going to be utilized by future settlers to power a hydroelectric plant.
Exactly.
Now,
You understand?
is a scourgeon an animal?
Technically speaking, yeah.
They have a scourgeon.
Charlie's making this noise.
Listen, does it matter if Johnny knows?
No, that wasn't it. You telling Johnny? It doesn't. You're fine.
Honestly, though, a Scourgeon's probably not the worst thing that can come out of that.
Don't tell us what the worst thing is. I don't have the
It's a
sense that
whale.
we're not being launched. What did I just say?
Whales are really bad.
Hey Sam, how many creature points does a whale cost?
It's not on your list yet.
But like, how many would it cost?
Many thousands.
Okay, that's fair. So Chivalry will nod at that, offer Switchblade some of the fairy beer he's been making.
He dumps it straight into his eyes.
Novel. Thank you. Chivalry walks away, with, as is usual with most of his interactions, less information than he started with. Bill walks up and says, hi, you remember that time I had that shroud from when you burst into flames?
Not at all.
Well, it kinda coalesced with some stuff.
Okay.
And I got this now, and he holds up the oubliette fetters, and hopefully Johnny can just tell it has a dice of better than you on it.
He's gonna hold this up. He's gonna look at it and go, it's imbued with an inferiority complex.
Okay, I need... Everything in my body is telling me to have Bill say the next line. You reckon you could teach me how to leverage that?
Absolutely, my friend. What are you looking to do?
Generally, I saw that you were in your fight with Dumond, and I'm assuming Dumond is like standing up next to us. He's just in this conversation?
Nah.
Okay.
He's too busy celebrating.
Yeah, he's
Fair.
too busy doing martial arts poses. Ooh, ah.
The 20 soldiers are taking pictures with you.
Yes. He's sending autographs.
Bringing
Mostly for the crew.
Dumont is bringing peace. Dumont is bringing peace to the Candyland Ragnarok with incredible violence, but in like a different way.
It's peaceful right now.
Okay.
Give it a week and it won't be.
So, Johnny's going to be very straight with you. He's going to say, for the first time in his life, he's going to be straight and say, okay, listen. The key to an inferiority complex, the key to weaponizing it, is making yourself as just low and debased and awful as possible. Hence why the first thing I do in a fight is make myself just the worst piece of garbage. Every weakness you introduce is another means by which you can see a means of improvement.
I see.
So, like, fighting multiple people at once might make it ramp up better. And different people have different strengths. That's more strength you can ape. Now, it's even better when you're really bad at a bunch of different things and then you just get really good out of spite. Because you've put barely any effort into learning things, and then you can just be as good as a master. And that really upsets people, and that can throw them off their game.
So basically, I just gotta be vindictive and really want it.
Yes, spite is the most powerful human emotion. People say it's love, they have no idea what they're talking about.
Alright.
It is still love, though, just so we're clear.
And Bill will offer him a belt from one of his various flasks, and as usual for Bill, walk away with more information than he started with.
Johnny is going to dip the flask into the open air, and it looks like it's being chugged by an entity that isn't there.
Oh.
You gotta feed the other Johnnies.
Okay, that is the deepest bit of lore. Like, that is the deepest rabbit hole I think you have presented in this entire game, Sam.
You're welcome. Alright. Was there anything else you guys wanted to do this session, or should we wrap up here?
No, we should wrap up since Chris is gone, and it's also 10:15.
Yeah, it is. Alright. So, Chris gave some votes. Okay, so everyone gets one for showing up. Now, for the funniest bit, Chris has voted for Tom because he almost got a spit take out of him.
Fair. I'll also vote for Tom, because that was... I don't even remember what it was, but it was very funny. I think that was also Bob voting for Tom.
I want to vote for Derek because that holy shit almost killed me.
What was that?
Well, when Sam said that there were... When Sam said that two of the masters are in the candy...
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. I imagined Dumont saying that, which was so much fucking funnier.
I imagine he did.
That was in character. That was Captain Dumont.
Oh, thank God.
Shit.
Okay.
Just jolts off the spirit straight down.
I think the vote still goes to Tom if we interpret Bob's soundboard as a vote for Tom.
I think it goes to Tom anyway.
Yeah, it goes to Tom.
Okay.
Tom was fine.
Because both me and Derek voted for him.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I can't do math. So...
That's fine. I know you multiply numbers by 2 sometimes.
It is a curse. Okay, so... most useful, Chris was split between Tom and Seth.
I vote Seth.
Yeah.
But stuff keeps moving. What is going on?
I'm fucking around with my legendary.
Oh,
monsters
okay.
defeating.
So is that me? Do I get that one?
I
think so.
think so.
E.
And Chris didn't give me a vote for who stayed in character best.
I vote Bob. That Karenade scene was really fucking funny. And the fact that Karenade knows exactly how long it takes through 32,000 pieces of paperwork. I also like, Bob, that you said that Karenade did 32,000 pieces of paperwork in 2 days, but a stack of 1,000 paperwork from AMP itself takes 2 days.
Look, paperwork from AMP is a lot more difficult than the other paperwork that's there.
Yeah, I just liked everything about that scene. It was a good bit.
While I agree with Tom that was a good scene, I would like to give this to Tom for general chivalrying.
You did stay in character with chivalry very, very well. I abstain. I say split between them.
Alright. So, in that case, I think Bob, Tom, you guys gain 0.5 each.
Yeah.
And for the wild card vote, who here do you think is like, if you were one, like, who here is most likely to be on Dumond's list of legendary masters to fight as a player character? Dumond
As
is
a
allowed
player
to,
character.
as a player character. Dumond is allowed to vote for himself.
Yeah, I was going to say it is definitely going to be Major Dumond.
No, it's so like he's trying to keep this secret till he perfects it because he's a perfectionist. But like Dumond isn't ready for Candy Style.
Bayou Bill, master of the twine floss.
Master of the Twine Floss.
Bob, I think you got an easy one here. I think you got a layup. Bob.
I'm gonna make
That's a
Candy Style.
category.
I'm gonna make Candy
What is the
Style
best
real
fit?
quick. We started with that.
Oh, did we start with that? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're good. We've done the correct number of votes.
That's fair enough. Alright. Yeah, this is just the wild card one. I'll just leave that in the fucking Candy Ragnarok.
Okay.
Because Chris should get a chance to vote.
No, so everyone's got. So we have the 3 votes going in since Bob seems to be abstaining. I want Chris to decide which one he thinks is most likely to exist. I'm gonna go make Candy Style real quick from the candy that Sweet Tooth will eat.
I am now up to a majestic 14.2 points.
Very nice. Oh, I also have 0.2 points.
I have 0.43. Oh my god, but I've got it.
Where's
Did you
Power
say
Making? Bob, I hate
Candy
this.
Or Candy Style? What was it?
Candy Style.
Upper Candy Style.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Upper Candy Style.
The Confectioner's Fist.
Ooh.
Alright, let me pull up Sweet Tooth's sheet to see how many dice he gets for this.
Fist of the Confectioner.
And what's the name of Major Dumont Style?
What was Captain Dumond's style currently is Lightning Fists of the Seventh Sun. Major Dumond's style is Dark Fists of the First Sun.
It's perhaps an interesting time to bring up that one of the villager names for the like one of the first names of the villager name document from the Misery Engine is Tarkor, Fist of the Final Sun.
I swear to God, that villager name list is going to be prophetic one of these fucking days. It's going to prevent. It's going to protect.
Hey, one of the villager names was Chivalry Smalls before I came up with a character.
Thank you, Sam. I enjoyed fighting Johnny Switchblade. Silly as that whole thing was. And I'm still not entirely sure how the hell plot armor, light armor, and heavy armor interact.
The important thing to know is if it turns out heavy armor is attached to plot armor, then Johnny should have gotten that fist off. But the key part to running Johnny's Switchblade is to never do it the same way twice. So that's fine.
Okay.
Just send me your new sheet because I don't think I have I don't think I still have access to it.
Okay, we'll do. Yeah.
Alright, thank you, man.
Finish updating them anyway. I'm thinking about perhaps putting Chaos and Confusion on the crew as well, which I came up with ages ago as a possible for them.
Just
Which-
distraction.
Well, yeah, so what Chaos and Confusion was it was 5 dice plus 5 spray dice, and basically any character in a scene, any enemy mook, would be tied up by a crewman. So it was interference on any not a central character. Meaning that any background character couldn't interact with the climactic battle.
I like that.
So if you have like an overseer of the fucking hive and his bunch of slaves, then Chaos and Confusion would mean that the overseer has to fight alone. His slaves can't help him. because they're all locked in one-on-one combat with the crew and therefore non-entities of the scene.
Okay, but what if they're like what if it's like you know how the slave brutes are like mindless creatures, but they're stronger than the overseer? They're just controlled by them. Would that get through it since they're technically like single entity enemies, or would it?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Okay. Yeah. Any final thoughts or questions or like feedback on the session?
No, I think we're good.
All right, we're good.
All right. Awesome.
Good night, everybody.
I will say, well, I normally detest anything that involves PvP, like, incredibly. I am down to fight Dumont.
Excellent.
Because I think that's a lighthearted rather than anything actually serious.
If you're challenging the legendary masters, nobody dies unless you're the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you
But, like, other than that, I just don't think PvP should happen in games.
I do like
Just
how
keep it-
we're not counting One with Nothing as one of the legendary masters.
Oh, he is.
warm up. He was the fight that the book starts with, like in media res. He's just the random schmuck that I fought on the road right before getting to the fight with Johnny Switchblade. Yeah.
He was like in the
No,
dumpster.
I mean, don't you remember the scene of One with Nothing explaining about the legendary masters to
Oh, yeah,
Dumont
that's right.
after he beat him?
That's right. He was on the path to defeat the 7 legendary masters, but now that I have defeated him, I shall take up the path.
Yeah, like you laid him out behind that Waffle House.
The Waffle House has found a new host.
And like, Sam, you remember that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have it pre-written and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody in this fucking game has enough mind stat to beat the Arc of the Narrative Universe, so we all remember it.
Chris probably does.